This doesn't sound like a crisis yet, but it should, because something unusual is happening right now, and it should stop every person cold. All right. America's closest allies are starting to act like they need protection from us. And now even our closest neighbor, Canada, is turning away. Every American should be asking this question. What happens to us when our allies stop being allies? Well, here's what's going on. Canada, one of the United States' most reliable, long-lasting allies, is no longer acting quietly or differently towards Washington. They are pushing back, okay? Publicly, repeatedly, and that alone is unusual. I mean, during the Greenland situation, Canada became one of the loudest voices, reminding the U.S. about Article 4. I think they actually also reminded them of Article 5 too, but Article 4 of NATO, the clause that exists specifically to prevent unilateral escalation by member countries. Okay, that's Canada saying basically out loud that the U.S. needs to slow the heck down. All right. Then at Davos, Canadian leadership openly challenged U.S. behavior on the world stage. I mean, not behind closed doors, by the way, not diplomatically, publicly in front of multiple cameras in the entire world. All right. And soon after that, Canada was publicly uninvited from Trump's, so-called peace board, whatever that thing is that he's trying to just capitalize on. And then something happened that would have been, almost unthinkable just a few years ago. Canada started exploring trade routes around the United States, including outreach to China. That breaks a decade-long, assumption that the U.S.-Canada relationship was untouchable, no matter who was in power. And Trump's response was immediate. I mean, he basically threatened 100% tariffs. He publicly mocked Canada's Prime Minister, Mark Carney, calling him a governor and, revived the whole 51st state rhetoric. That is not diplomacy. That is intimidation, okay? And that is something that you would see from a high schooler, not the president of the United States. Well, obviously we know that we expect that from our president, so that's just the way that is now. That's politics in America now. It's just the way it is. And here's why this is so dangerous. This isn't just about trade disputes or, bruised egos. It's about what Canada's behavior signals to the rest of the world. Canada is no longer acting like a junior partner. They are acting more like a country that believes the United States is, unreliable and potentially hostile. They're right on both of those, by the way, and we're seeing that every single day, and that is so sad. Okay, and once that belief sets in, everything changes. Alliances aren't symbolic. They are how Americans stay safe without fighting alone. They are how intelligence gets shared, how defense is coordinated, how the economies absorb shock during crises. So ask yourself this: what happens when allies stop assuming the U.S. will act in good faith, which I'm pretty sure almost all of them have, okay? Because that's the line being crossed here. Alliances are being, treated as optional and loyalty as conditional. And before, partnerships meant stability, even during disagreements. Now disagreement is met with punishment. But here's the bigger danger Americans need to understand. I mean, when allies become enemies, the United States doesn't become stronger, it becomes isolated. And isolation isn't neutral, it is very, very dangerous, okay? It means fewer countries willing to stand beside the U.S. in a crisis, fewer, safe routes for trade, evacuation, or defense, fewer diplomatic breaks when things escalate fast. So if America treats its allies like enemies, who exactly is left? Some people are brushing this off, as, oh, Trump and the administration's tough talk. No, you're an idiot. If that's what you're thinking, I'm sorry, you're an idiot, okay? You're an idiot. Like, read a book. Just saying. All right? This is normalization, okay? I talk about that all the time. Normalization of something far more destabilizing. The idea that long-standing alliances don't matter if they're inconvenient to this administration. And once that becomes normal, it will spread like a wildfire, people, okay? Other allies will start hedging, making backup plans, building other relationships that exclude the United States completely. Not because they hate Americans, by the way, but because they no longer trust American leadership. I mean, we don't even trust American leadership. Could you blame them? And that's what this is really about. This isn't about Canada. And it's not about Trump's feelings. It's about whether Americans are safer in a world where our closest allies feel the need to basically resist us instead of rely on us. Because when alliances collapse, they don't come back easily. Okay? And when a country stands alone, enough, it starts taking risks it would never have had to have been taken before. And that's why this matters right now. I know I'm not speaking to people that need to be educated on this matter. I know I'm not speaking to people right here that need to go read a book. But to the few people that come across this that are not the people that are educated, like the people that follow this channel, that need to be educated, that need to really understand what is happening, go spend the next 2 weeks at a library. Thank you for watching. I am Jared Zisser, and this is Ring of Fire. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications to make sure you are informed about everything important in progressive politics today. And if you are looking for fact-based independent reporting all day, every day, follow me here on Instagram or here on Facebook. See you in the next video.